What's your favourite type of session to coach and why?
Well, I like some small-sided games in general. A lot of goals, a lot of actions in the game as well. So definitely some small-sided games.
Do you prefer training or game day and why?
Obviously, I love the game days for sure. That's where it all comes down to how you've been training, how you've been practicing, not just for the last week, but also just in general over the last couple of months as well. So I think game day is at the end what football is all about.
The best player in the world right now?
I really like Kevin De Bruyne. For me, he's an amazing footballer. He can score goals. He's making a lot of assists. He's got an amazing football brain. Whether he's the best or not, for me, he's definitely one of them.
Your favorite ever coach?
I think I would probably say it this way. One of them who made the biggest impression on me was Sarri. When we played Napoli, I think it was back in 2016 or something like this in Europa League with Midtjylland. I was the assistant coach at that time, and I remember that Sarri just arrived to Napoli at that season, and we played them probably around September, and they were absolutely amazing. They smashed us 5-1, I think, at home. And I remember I was sitting on the bench during second half, and I was thinking, how is this possible that a guy only worked at the club for 3 months at that time? How is it possible that he can get his players performing like this? Everything they did was really well structured, really well organized. All the players were on the same page. I remember I really found that inspiring, and I would really have loved to follow him just for a week or 2 weeks just to see how he really did this, because it was absolutely amazing to see how the players understood each other, and I know it all comes down to him and how he was working at that time.
Your favorite ever football memory?
Winning a championship was really, really nice, both as a player and also as a coach. But I also have to mention when we qualified for Champions League with Midtjylland against Slavia Prague some years ago was an amazing feeling, not just as a coach but as a staff and as a group and also as a club. It's massive how we achieved in that qualification. We played all 3 rounds, beating Ludogorets, Young Boys, and then Slavia at the end. And as a small team, underdog all the way through, and then we qualified for the first time in the history of Midtjylland for Champions League was also really, really amazing.
Your sporting hero?
I know he's still playing, Cristiano Ronaldo. I don't know if he's my hero or anything, but I just love how professional he is. He's really taking everything seriously. He's still performing at a high age. His whole approach to being a professional is just amazing, and I think he's just a role model for a lot of players, how things is actually done. I just think that Cristiano is he's been one of the absolute best players ever in football.
Why do you love football?
It's difficult to say why, I have to be honest, but just I think my best answer is when I get a football in my hands or on the feet, it just gives me a smile. Whether we go and prepare the training with the staff in the morning, and the ball is around, you just feel it. That it just gives you an amazing feeling within your body. That the passion comes out again. And I think it's been like this my whole life. Every time a football was around, then I've been happy, I've been smiling, I've been having a good feeling. And I just see it with so many people that every time there's a football around, then people change. And also people who's not involved in football, but just when the football is around, they change their whole personality, their whole mentality, and you just get a smile on your face. And I think at the end of the day, that's also why we're in football, because it's an amazing toy, and it's an amazing sport where you can be physical, you can be tactical as well, and then at the end it all comes down to your passion also, and your energy and your love for the game. So I think it's just, for me, it's the best toy in the world, and we also have to remind ourselves that it's a crazy job, and it's a hard job. It's it's a very emotional job, but it's also like a playground in so many aspects, and we have to remember the joy in football as well.